hoping she would say she looked up to one Kia Nurse. That's all right. Natalie's pretty good too.
Natalie is pretty good.
And we do welcome in Kia Nurse now. Just wrapped up March Madness on the women's side, a disappointing loss. We were just talking about it a little bit. We'll get into the NCAA and the WNBA draft coming up this week in just a moment. But first of all, you were at that game yesterday. When you were in high school, you never had an opportunity like that to be in a showcase game in Canada. How awesome was it seeing the next wave of future stars in this country?
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I think when you go to the States, all you hear about is the All-American game, the McDonald's game, the Jordan game. And we don't really have that in Canada until now. And I think that is something that's only going to continue to grow the game. You're going to get to see great, talented basketball players day in and day out and see all their hard work put on display. And it's great when they put on a show like they did last night.
So I know it wasn't the conclusion that you wanted for UConn, but you had some historic years there. What you did, your coach Gino Auriemma, who's so phenomenal, and just really what you've done for basketball for women in this country. Has it really sunk in that you're done at UConn yet?
No. You know, every single day I wake up and I'm still there finishing off school, getting my degree, and then graduating. It's kind of shocking. You know, 4 years goes by so quickly. You have no idea what's going on, what's going to happen next. And I think it's an exciting uncertainty at this point.
So you have been invited to the WNBA draft. We know what an honor that is. First of all, I got to ask you, where do you think you're going? Do you have any sense of what team 1 through 10 that you might select to at this point?
I've heard a lot about all of the teams 5 through 9. So somewhere in that range, which is a good range for me. I like all those teams.
Anyone in particular?
You know, I like Connecticut. It's home at this point, but it's also a great team. They're young and they're sparky, and I think there's a lot of fun that can come from that.
All right, well, we can't wait to watch that. It's going to be a historic moment for Canadian basketball and then representing this country in general. We saw you guys at the Olympics again. Not the result you wanted, but it's still growing to a point. What is it like to represent this country and wear that uniform?
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. There truly is nothing better than wearing your country's uniform. And I think for us to be able to play the Pan Am Games, to be able to play in Edmonton for the Olympic qualifiers, all these young women can finally see Canadian basketball at its finest. And I think that's the best part about it, that our game is just growing. We're continuing to lead. We're going to get on that podium, and I'm excited for that.
So we're watching the men here, and we see that this game just keeps growing and growing. The talent just vast each and every year. What do you think the Canadian side, in terms of women, needs to do to make that next step, to really get competitive with the United States?
Well, what I think we're doing a really good job of is we're identifying talent really young now. And Canada Basketball does a great job of bringing those talented kids in, having them work against each other in different training groups, whether it be in Toronto, whether it be a centralized session, wherever they can be. And then they continue to grow, and we move them up throughout the system. And some people make the jump as quick to the senior team, and others will play the whole way through. But the development piece is huge, and we're doing a great job of that.
Kia, from a Canadian's perspective, we can't even tell you how proud we are of you and what you've done for this sport, and how excited we are to watch this week. You will be the highest drafted female Canadian going into the WNBA. So again, thank you from all of us here, and thank you for stopping by and coming to the game as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kia Nurse. And don't go anywhere. We have plenty more coming up after the break. It is second half action at the BioSteel All-Canadian game.